setting, how you put yourself in the shoes of the person, then you now start putting down what your solution will be solving, what problem your solution will be solving, then the proper ideas, when you now start getting ideas. There's something that Google does. I worked for a couple of years with Google for Education. There's something that Google does called moonshot thinking. Moonshot thinking is, they ask you, if you had no money problems, I needed to solve this problem, money was not an issue, what are the things you do? Bring the craziest ideas you can think about. They put people in the room to start putting down these ideas, right? Then they take some of the best ideas from them and prototype it. Say, okay, what would this solution look like? If it is an actual product, how do you design? If it's a service, what's the experience people get out of it? Are we together? And then, when they do that, they now test their prototype. Let's test it. Market testing. Let's test it. Okay, now that we have tested this, how do we make it better? They put that down. Did it work well? Yes. How can we make it even better? Did it work well? No. How can we make it even better? You see, that's what happens with your phones. Every time they find out a problem, there's a software update. At first, if you don't do the update, nothing happens. But after a while, you start seeing some silly little, it will force you to do the update, isn't it? That's exactly what design thinking will do for you. When you make your prototype, you test it, and then you make your improvements. So how does this relate to us as school leaders or school improvement? You may be wanting to increase your numbers. One thing you must tell yourself is the truth. When last did you read a flyer? You. What makes you think that printing flyers and making noise on the road and sharing it will make people read it? Most times, the best you can get out of that flyer is it turns into a market list for a woman. She will find it in her bag when she's going to the market. She'll just take it out. That's all.
No.
Don't you do it. So that's what happens to your flyers. You're just providing market lists. Are we together? You must tell yourself the truth. Admission. Now admitting. Nursery 1 to nursery 3. Primary 1 to primary 6. JS 1 to 3. SS 1 to 3. Grab your copy. Date. That style of marketing is what's there. That's why year on year, if that's the only kind of marketing you are seeing a reduction in the number of people who are doing inquiries. The game has changed. Inquiries happen online. Inquiries happen in consultant DMs. There's one of the vendors downstairs, a friend of mine actually works with them, she's their manager. So when she needed to get a secondary school, she told me the area where she was moving to. I said, okay, there is a school around there that I've heard of. I hear them, but I've never been there, but let's go. So she said, okay, that if she goes with me and I think the school is okay, that she doesn't know, if I say it's okay by her, but that there are 5 other parents that are waiting to also move their children to that particular school, if I think it's okay. So I said, okay, let's go together. And then I got in there, and they said, sit down, we'll have someone text you, and they ushered us into an office. Please, I want to reenact the scene so that you can see. Sorry, I need you to do. I need you to also bring your chair so that everyone sees what I'm talking about. So, I'm the lady I met in the office, and she's me and my friend, okay? So just say, good morning, ma'am. Thanks for making her. Welcome, sit down. She had cardboard on her table, she was cutting it. Yes, ma'am, I'm listening to you. I hope you don't mind, I'm multitasking.
Oh my God.
This woman, I kid you not. We sat there creating charts, cutting borders. I said, I'm listening to you, man. I said, wow, okay. So, my friend was already getting irritated. And I said, okay, ma'am, so tell me a little bit about your school. Okay, well, we use we do this, we do that. Okay, can we have the pricing so that she can make a decision? The prices will be reviewed shortly, especially for books. So we don't have the current price now. But if I have your WhatsApp number, I can say she will still cut it. If I have your WhatsApp number, I can send it to you. I said, okay, let me put on my educator hat right here. And then I said, okay, ma'am, thank you for your answer. So I want to ask you, could you tell me about your curriculum? I see that you use a blend of British curriculum and Nigerian curriculum. I would like to know exactly how you blend it. I want to know what your teaching methodology is. And I want to know, are you an activity-based school? I see that you have IPC on your flyer as well. So can you tell me about the IPC? Because incidentally, I have my curriculum training from the IPC office, Fieldwork Education, London. So I would like to know exactly how you use the IPC so that I can speak to my friends. Before I finish, look, she dropped the paper, dropped the scissors. Yes, ma'am. So I said, so in my mind, I'm like, so we had to take you hearing Fieldwork Education and to listen to somebody. My friend, when we let go of it, my friend said, if you didn't say ICPC, BBC, and we laughed, and you can imagine how, I will still have to ask her if she's going back to that school, because she would have gotten maybe 8 or 10 children from that one inquiry. Are we together? Yes. Now, flip the script to another school. My daughter attends a school, and the reason why I picked that school is because I wanted a school that had small class size, and most importantly, I wanted a school that I knew was good, but I wasn't consulting for them, so that my child would not be treated specially. I make it a point of duty not to even let the teachers know who I am, what I do, so that teach my child. Let me be a parent. I don't want to be. Do you understand what I mean? So that was why I picked that school. Now they have this security man, Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe is so friendly. Friendly to the point where every week Mr. Joe buys a pack of balloons. So when they come, you go to school and you get dropped off, you're not crying or cranky, and you come out and you're still happy and you're not cranky, you get a balloon. They get mad. So every day you're like, okay, Mr. Joe, I want a red balloon. Today, one, he said, I want a rainbow balloon. Mr. Joe said, rainbow. And we laugh about it. But the children look forward not just to getting into the classroom. They look forward to seeing Mr. Joe at the end of every day. Are we together? I cannot tell you how many educators in this town recommend that school to parents. You know the school I'm talking about. I tell you, the owner is not even here. Huh? The owner is not even here. The experience from the gate. Do you see the difference? So that's because that particular person has understood the value of design thinking, creating an experience. So, as a school leader that wants to use design thinking for school improvement, you must be an experienced architect. Design the experience that you want people to get in the school. The experience you want parents to get. The experience you want the children to get. The experience you want even staff to get. So that as they come, you see, word of mouth, whatever we like, let us say, technology, word of mouth remains the greatest seller ever. So, what's the experience? How do people feel after interacting with your brand? Storytelling. Nowadays, we're seeing schools telling stories. You can use storytelling can also use empathetic leadership. Right now, it's very tough just to be a Nigerian. Being a Nigerian now is an extreme sport. People are going through a lot. In fact, somebody said people are either about to go into a lot, or some are in a lot. Some are going through a lot, some are coming out of a lot. A lot is happening to a lot. I remember, yes, I remember when I worked under someone who was not empathetic towards me as a leader. I had to do an IVF at the time, and I was put on 2 weeks bed rest in the hospital. And I had put in my leave that this is what, and I was honest. And the answer I got was, that's your 2 weeks in, that's during an assessment. Ooh, mark your exam question. And I specifically said, oh, they can bring it to the hospital. They did bring it to the hospital. I'm not even telling you about somebody, my personal experience. I was on the hospital bed, I will mark my exam. So, I told myself, the IVF eventually failed. I told to the best of my ability. When the pain will be too much, I'll take a toilet break, go and sit down there, take my meds. When I feel better, I come. I did not present in class, I did not do anything. Eventually, the leader that was not empathetic got into a problem with the owner of the school, and she was unceremoniously fired. We eventually became very close. Very close. I think it took her not receiving empathy to understand that she wasn't giving it. So we need to ensure that empathetic leadership is our style. Put yourself in the shoes of the people that you lead. Do not uphold your system above your people, because it is your people that will uphold your system. Did you hear what I said? Do not uphold your system above your people, because it is your people that will uphold your system. And even as a leader, even if you lead year one, you are the year one leader, the year one class leader, whatever. Yes, ensure that you give grace to people. People are going through a lot. I once had this subordinate who was very sunny. Hello, Mrs. Charles, how are you doing today? So I look forward to seeing her every day because she was just so bright, cheerful, and sunny. And so this bright and sunny woman will go and submit. She will bring drafts of documents to me. I'll make corrections. She will make the corrections and bring the approved copy to me to see. I will approve the copy, and then, or the corrected copy, I will approve it. And the fellow will go and submit the draft. And leave very silly mistakes. And someone said, this woman will put you in trouble. And I called her and I said, Mother, you're a very sunny person. I like your personality, but your lack of attention to details begin to give the impression that you are not a thorough professional. Is there a problem? Would you like to talk about it? Is there a problem you'd like to talk about? And this woman went from, yes, Mrs. Jackson. The switch was switching. into her account. She was also saving some money in that account. And then her phone and her ATM card went missing. So she went to do a welcome back package. As soon as she turned on the phone, she started getting debit alerts. Her account had been wiped clean. Worse still, it was her brother. So her husband said there is no way that her brother could have done that and she wasn't aware. This woman almost went mad. You would think that where it stopped. And then at the end of the month, she started receiving messages. Your loan is due. She now, her employer at the time, our employer at the time, started getting messages. Don't work with this woman, she's a chronic thief, she's owing us. That was when she knew that he had even used her number. This woman, how on earth can such a person think rationally? But she will dress up every day and come to school. And I told her, I said, Mother, I cannot pretend that I know what you are going to do because I want to. But so let's do it this way. Every time you have a document to submit, let's have that I see it. Just so that we are sure that it was done. We are a team, I support you. If everybody is busy, bring it to me. I will not judge you. At that point, I will not sit as your leader. I will sit as a friend. I will help out. Let the third eye just see, or a second eye rather, just see that document before you submit. That alone provided support. It made her feel like I have someone. And we left that system years ago. I saw her this year. The woman practically lifted me off the ground. Eventually, they made up. The husband came back to apologize, and then he had a stroke, a partial stroke. So you can imagine. And now she's the one who has to be careful. Are we together? So sometimes the people that you are seeing, they are fighting battles you may never understand. So that's not a license to be lazy and slothful, or to be sloppy or shoddy with your work. But that's you providing the support that you need. Your people need to feel seen. They need to feel heard. Don't be lazy anymore. The residents masquerade. Akaba.com.
Susan,
Agaba.com. Make you a bad dinner. Let me tell you something about Dr. Chinedu Oluwadamiliola. When she sat as the principal of Corona Secondary School, if a cleaner in the school is having a burial or something, immediate family, and they take leave for that event, if it is not too far, she will go. She, a cleaner. There was a time they have this Corona camp for educators they do every year. So one of the years I wanted to see my teachers and spend time with them, so I went back and stayed the whole week with them. She rescheduled one of the classes because she needed to attend a cleaner's mother's service of songs. Something random like that. In fact, if you are doing an event and you don't even take permission, she will still call. Then tomorrow when you come to school, you are going to So she will tell you that as your leader, I should support anything you are doing. But as your leader, what does the book say about these things?
what does?
What's the policy? What were you supposed to do? I don't know if you understand what I mean. That is what leadership is about. Being the person that will make your team feel seen, feel heard, feel valued. That's why people stay in the system 5 years, 10 years. Now, year on year, the time that teachers are staying in the school is reducing. Why? I've seen a head of school leave a school as head of school to go and rent shop in oil mill markets. I've visited her shop. I felt so bad. I said, rice. What was the rice? My dear, The day I went to the shop, I ended up feeling sorry for myself. When she was selling 200 bags, thinking, much more than she would ever. Do you understand? But what pushed her to that point was that she wasn't feeling like she was seen. She wasn't feeling like she was heard. Are we together? So, you want to use design thinking to improve your system. First of all, think. To improve the entire school, who are my implementation partners? Who is helping me implement? It could be staff of your school, it could be a consultant. Do you understand what I mean? You must be very clinical about that. Who are my financial partners? Is this thing going to be funded by the school? Do I need to get extra support? Do I need a loan? Do I need a grant? Do you understand what I mean? Answer the pertinent question. God will help all of us in Jesus' name. Amen is not a plan. Let's not cover with religion. You give below your best and say, God will help us. Everything God needs to do for us is already done by giving us His brain. Don't be looking, if you get a miracle today, it's a miracle. Don't become a miracle addict. Every day you're looking for miracle. You should be the miracle to somebody.
Yes.
And that's one strategy. You want to improve your team, ask the right questions. Don't be afraid to receive feedback. If you are not open to having it one-on-one, maybe you and your team, you don't have that kind of relationship. Have that conversation. I want to do better, so I'm asking for feedback. Don't put your names down. Tell me, in what ways do you feel supported by my leadership? In what areas can I do better? Are we together? Great. You want to improve your numbers, yet you don't know whether your school is breaking even. As a school, for the schools we work with, one thing we do is we calculate, before we start, we calculate how many children do you need. First of all, let's calculate what you are doing. Are you running at a loss? Are you breaking even? Or are you running at a profit? If you are running at a loss, how many children do you need in your classroom? We now calculate the cost of what it takes for a child to sit in your class. Now, to get this, how many children do you need in your school for your school to at least break even or be profitable? So you know you are working with valuable data. Are we together? You can't sit down and there was once a woman I consulted for, of course the consulting project didn't go anywhere because I said, okay madam, what are your projections? How many children are you looking to get in the next 1 year? She said 200 children. I said, how many children do you currently have? She said 4 children. I said, okay, how many classrooms do you have in this entire building? She said 12. How many of them are ready for use now? 6. What is your class size? I don't know how many children in the class. Highest 12. I said, ma'am, I don't know, ma'am. Was 12 times 6. No, 12 was already 6. 12 times 6 is what? 72. Let me know that I know, ma'am. Small. This one. 200 minus 7 is what? 430. I said, please, ma'am. Where do you plan to put the new one? Staff room, they didn't have staff room. And the woman got offended that I did not buy into her vision of faith. I'm telling you honestly. And so, because of that, we couldn't go further. Hey, I have somebody here that works there. Amen? I just remember that she was here. Yes. The woman got offended that I did not believe in her vision. And so she started to victimize her because she worked there. She was my guy would just play music in class after school hours. She offered to decorate the whole school. They didn't pay a cent. She was offended that she was playing music. No children were, the school had not received. How dare you play music in my school? So because of that, she seated here. I'm not even, am I lying? Yeah, I'm here. She looks at me like
You were dead.
Thank God that she's here. Online, with their private lessons, and you can't pay them. I've seen a teacher who was earning 35,000. He was teaching in my cousin's children's school in Bayelsa. And then she had to move to the UK. And he was really good with math. And that's where her children were struggling. So he was still their lesson teacher. He said he knew how to do virtual lessons. And he used to make it fun. The children really liked him. So he found a way to make it fun, even though it was virtual. She now told him that she's just getting there, so she can't pay much. She paid his salary. That was already more than his salary. He was so happy. 2 times. Then while he was teaching her children, she had friends. They said, "You have to teach her we need for our own children." And she told me that what they're charging here at that time was 90,000. These people may not be able to afford that. Come down here. Get he said, "You are paying 70,000 there." I said, "I think so." So he told them 70. They said, "You agree 70?" They brought 40. This guy went from earning 35,000 to earning 330,000 in a month for working 2 days. Not submitting lesson. He's not feeling tired. He's not listening to anybody shouting at him. Nobody checks whether he sounds like when he gets 7:15. If he like, he can't wear suit. He can wear shirt and he walks like nobody will see his 7:15. So, what will motivate that person to come back? So, like I said, the era of the leader was when you were the Ndaboski of your class. We are the era of the teacher, where the teacher is the Ndaboski. With your money, with all your vacancies, how many of you are sitting with teachers? Vacancies everywhere. I spoke about it today, and somebody was saying, "No, man, this is the vacancy." I just laughed. And it's going to get progressively worse. Unless we decide to do something about it. And it cannot be a one-man approach. It has to be a collaborative approach. Right? So you must rethink your leadership style. If your leadership style is, "I'm not happy with you at all," I'm not happy. If that's your leadership style, or your leadership style is "you idiot," like recently a school that was opting, we just don't emphasize things. Our values don't matter. Every day he will call his admin. He will call her names. Abuse her. The girl has gotten demoralized. And her husband is an importer. He wanted her to open a shop. She refused because she was she was being paid 60,000. And this man was like, I thought she was exaggerating until the day I was there. And in fact, she put the phone on speaker. I was amazed. Then the man called me and was abusing his wife to me. That's how you train the woman. They can be very stupid. Imagine. I did client and consultant meeting, congress meeting. The man 37 minutes. This man was asking his wife, how imagine how they're in the UK now. And she knows how to go to market very well. So you can carry her from school. She will leave school during work hours. Even worse, to go and buy you crayfish at the bed. And the teacher will have no choice because are we together? You must get comfortable with the fact that your teachers and family have been kind that pay them more than you do. So the only thing that will keep them to transformational leadership. The secret of that is empower the teachers to thrive. The very first time I met Mr. Fort was my boss had introduced me to her and said, this is our head of academics. She's also a consultant, she has her own company. If student cannot help you, she knows the person that can help you. You should work with her. My boss took me by the hand like this. How many of us are secure enough to do that? What about 3 school leaders who can be friends and say, okay, where is your school? Where's your school? Okay, our schools are not far. We have been looking for a science teacher. We can't find. The ones we are seeing, the price is too much. How about 3 of us? Employ this teacher. How much do you normally pay as salary? I pay 50,000. I pay 50. I pay 50. What if we put our 50 together and pay this one teacher 150? And say that 50, you work. If you don't have enough space for two times for each, how about if I have 5 periods? 5 periods, 5 periods. So if you finish your 5 periods, however you want to schedule, the teacher will. They can come here today, finish their period. They can still meet up. We do our timetabling together so that it fits in. Is the problem not solved? Are we together? Especially Port Harcourt is so small. So you can go from here to there, from here to there, fast, and you are done. Provide opportunities. There's a local school we worked with. The owner's strategy, she didn't have a lot of money to pay. So her strategy was that every holiday she would provide the school premises for the teachers to do lessons. She will not collect it down. They will market it as the school lesson, but everything they make, they went to the teachers. And she would tell them the only thing is don't bring my chair. If you need to use your generator, you buy it. If you spoil anything, you repair it. At the end of your lesson, when school is resuming, do something to appreciate school. We're not asking for money. Buy something for them. They will buy tissue. They will buy carton of markers. They will buy. See, when they will even pay for the flyers and the promotional material printed, but they will use his name on the school. And she will tell them the only time I will stop this is if you start to reduce the standards. You know what my standard is. Uphold it. So these teachers will use their own tool. They will market this in the school. I'm telling you. See, do you know what happens? Every year her problem is where to the children. Did we not want this? Did you not see? There was a year that her problem was how to chase out 70 children out of her. Yes, her problem was how to chase 70. She increased it, she refused to cope. She said, we could learn. She started building sharp. We went together, we saw. Now, the woman, before now, the last time we did a breakthrough analysis for her, after all of her expenses for a local school, whose school fees at the time was about 13,000, she was making, after all expenses, tax, everything, she was making about $1 million a month. That was her profit. For a low-income school, you can imagine how do you understand what I mean? Because she was no longer even paying for things like markers and all of that. So she reduced operational expenses. You must think outside the box. Another school that I work with, they struggle to get teachers, especially because the owner of the school had left the school in the hands of a leader who didn't believe in education. By the time she came back, before she left the school, she had about 300 or so. In fact, it was so full that she built another building. By the time she came back, there are less than 30. Wow. True story. True story. So this woman said, no, this dream will not die. And she started to work again to redeem. Most of the old teachers who worked with the old hair had been poisoned by them. So they were living unceremoniously. In fact, the funniest one left. She was in the class teaching. She just carried a nylon. Somebody that knows the story is laughing. Look around. Somebody that is laughing somehow. She will get something. They have said she and you know. The lady put her bag and her slippers inside nylon bag. Somebody is at the gate. Let me just give them at the gate. That's how she left. See, I'm telling you, it was really difficult to handle the class. Some teachers were having 3 classes. It was crazy. Before I managed to get teachers, at the end of that period, I don't have money, Susan, but let's celebrate this people that believe in this dream enough to rebuild it. We had a party to celebrate the staff. We did not allow them food. We did not allow them. We said we carried from the gate man to everybody was served 3-course meal. They danced. Then while they were shouting and jubilating, she brought out bags of rice. Please, shake me. They said they were going to do holidays, the summer school. Nobody came. Here the staff have volunteered to be coming so that they will always start the school for the inquiries. Volunteer. They will be paid for August, of course. But, so they didn't have to come. But they offered themselves. That is, they were choosing their wings. The school and supervised the innovations going on. Last year, I was going to that school every day. But this year, I haven't gone there this month. Because the staff are on the ground, doing what needs to be done, looking at, taking inventory. The head of school ordered this class. Oh yeah, he called taught the kids how to use lawnmower to cut grass. So she's seeing that she now has the kind of people who have her mindset. She cannot lead things like a boss. So you must rethink your leadership style. Very clinically. Because, like I said, these are the people that would uphold the system. And then finally, how do you design thinking to improve your system? You must have detailed policies, detailed procedures, detailed processes. This will give your team incentive to resist the devil. It was the devil that did it. What should they do when they need to get married? If they're not going to come to school, what should they do? If someone offends them, what should they do? If they want to mark children, what should they do? If they are setting exam questions, how should it be done? If they're marking and providing feedback, how would they do it? If they want to decorate the class, how do you understand what I mean? Everything, as you think about it, crafting policies is an ongoing process. You never finish. If you have a problem with staff, you are having a staff issue and you resolve it as the leader, you have resolved the two people have settled. But to prevent a reoccurrence, that's how it is resolved in your own eye, is that thing will not create a policy or a procedure or a process to ensure that for this year it doesn't occur again. And then if you have new people, because people will come and go, no matter what you will go. Right? The people who are coming in and read and be blessed. And then they can ask questions. It's better than them having to fail and then you are teaching from the scratch. Are we together? So these are simple ways that you can use design thinking for school improvement, whether to increase your numbers, to improve your team, to improve your student experience, to improve the parent experience. Are we together? All right. So do we have any questions? Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much for a very wonderful. You were explaining, you said something about the lady that called you an idiot. And after your findings, you said that you will not recommend for her because you're not trained. So I want to make it talk with culture of the school. At any time, when they start with the school, or a member of the staff, they don't know what is happening in school. Is it possible?
But the leader.
No. When the teacher is not aware.
What's acceptable?
Okay.
Is it possible?
Yes, it is. Every school has the written curriculum and the unwritten curriculum. Just like every school has written culture and unwritten culture. There are certain things that happen in certain schools that are not written down, where everybody knows that that's how it works here. Do you understand what I mean? And as a leader, you determine the temperature. So I could have decided to follow up with that idiot matter by giving her a query, and I would have been well within my rights. But was that a work matter? It wasn't a work matter. So I decided to do that. I was employed to support her. But beyond the school gate, we have nothing in common. I will not even offer her a ride in my car. For what? We trade. Do you understand? I will have a mess. I will not do that. Because outside the building, there is no relationship. But as long as we are in the building, something ties us together. There are certain people in your family. If not that they're your family members, you will never talk to them. They will never be in your space. But they're related to you, so because of that, you just, and that's how the people that work with you cannot decide to a large extent. Even some of them come like lowly lands. because I'm mandated to do that. But as soon as we leave the gate, we don't have any relationship. So, I don't think it is possible that someone working in a school is not aware of how things are done. But certain things that are done in a school system are not received that way. In fact, most of what dictates the culture and temperature of the place are the things that are not. And so if those are the things that have the highest voice, you must find a way to ensure that you bring that temperature